Hello, dear listeners. Happy New Year. Oh, I missed you all, and I am so glad you're here because we have to crawl out of our turtlenecks and get to work. I mean, definitely we have to work on our country and our climate and our bodily rights, but also on ourselves. And that is what we are all about this month. Way back in 2023, oh my God, remember 2023? We had some incredible conversations with our guests about big choices they have made that changed their lives. But with a new year upon us, I wanted to look at how we can make even better choices in 2024. And that means taking a step back and examining what it even means to make a choice. What goes into a decision? Do we seek out the advice of others? Do we weigh pros and cons? Should I make a cute little list in addition to all the other lists that I have all over the place? How do I even decide what to put on my cute little list? My cute little, probably dozens of lists. I mean, part of it is taking responsibility for the decisions we have to make, which is why I'm going to do it. I'm going to say something radical. No more New Year's resolutions. I'm banning them. Please do not cancel me for that. If deciding to change something in your life is important to you, do it now. Do it in March. Do it in December. Don't wait. My goodness, every minute is another minute. We could all be making better choices. I mean, that's fine. You can still do something good in January if that's when it comes to you, but that better just be a coincidence. Why should we delay progress, even if it's hard to decide that it's time? We should hold ourselves accountable. Why would we let ourselves off the hook the rest of the year just so we have something saved up for January? Look, if you need it, I'll hold you accountable. Just everybody come back here every time you're feeling stuck, and I'll just remind all of us, because in 2024, we need our politicians to make better choices. We need voters to make better choices. We need our friends and family members, the people we don't even know, to make better choices. And we need to make better choices for ourselves. New year, new you, new me, new way of doing things. Okay, everybody just agree. This is Choice Words. I'm Samantha Bee, and this entire month of January, we are getting to the nitty-gritty of good decision-making. For many of us, we don't make decisions in a vacuum. We rely on our villages. So I am kicking off the new year with Sarah Silverman, who is as thoughtful as she is funny, and she gives some truly great advice to those who seek it on her show, the Sarah Silverman Podcast. So take a listen and make good choices.
Recording. I do my own sexy voice recording sounds.
That's fantastic. Hello. How are you? I'm happy to see you.
Hi, you.
I'm really excited that you said yes to the podcast.
Oh my God.
And I'm excited to be podcast cousins on the same network now.
As am I.
Oh, I love it. I was so excited when I heard that you were coming over into the Lemonada side of things. It made me really happy. Well, welcome to Choice Words. So as you know, this podcast is all about making choices, and I feel like we're all making big ones all the time. And I feel like you've made big decisions probably in 2023. But we want to talk about like the bigger picture of like, I'm not a New Year's resolution person. Are you? Are you a New Year? No, not at all. Have you ever made one like in the back of your mind ever in your whole life?
Literally never.
Literally never. Yeah, same. I feel like most people don't, but we have like a lot of conversations about what they're going to be culturally. And I don't relate to it at all.
Well, like, what are you going to do in the new year? I don't know. Like, I'd be doing it now if I was going to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're waiting for a date.
Waiting for a date to make a different choice feels weird. You could just start today. So,
Yeah.
okay, I think ultimately what it boils down to is that people always want to make great choices. They don't really know, they don't always know how to do it, but people come to you for advice on the Sarah Silverman podcast. And I find your show super fascinating and so relatable because you give very earnest advice to people. You're very good at it. You're excellent at it.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it only is because I go to therapy and I'm learning stuff and that I think I'm a therapist because I'm so impressed with what I've learned.
That's wonderful. Do you feel like, because I feel like I'm an amateur doctor.
Yeah.
So together, I feel like we could heal a lot of the world's ills,
Yeah.
possibly. Do you, how do you help people make good decisions? How do you know, or you just have an internal compass that guides you?
I think I've been around a lot and I've
Mm-hmm.
examined a lot of dynamics and relationships and a lot of therapy, some fine and some very good. But also it's much easier to give advice to others
Right.
than yourself because we can be objective, fairly objective,
Mm-hmm.
there's no like of our ego isn't mixed in with it at all, and or our
Right.
self-doubt or our all the baggage that we have, like it's just,
Mm-hmm.
like I remember tricking my dad into um therapy. I go,
Oh, how'd you do that?
because he was so pro therapy for everyone, but he didn't
Oh.
go.
It was like, I'm my own therapist, basically.
Well, but as obnoxious as that is, it's kind of all of us in ways, but I was just like,
Right.
yeah, my friend, yeah. And I basically described him, but I said it was a
Oh,
friend of mine. I said it was a specific friend he knew. And then
right.
and he won't go to therapy and, and my dad's like, well, he should and blah, blah, blah. I go, I'm talking about you. I kept,
Busted. And was he
yeah.
like, oh, God damn it? Fine, I'll
Yeah, but
go.
he still didn't go.
He still didn't go. He still didn't go.
Oh,
Well,
he
I think
did towards the end, he did.
he did. That's so funny. Are you good at, so are you, are you good at making decisions for yourself? How long does it take you? How much do you ruminate, I guess?
I feel
What's
like
that
I'm
like?
better at big decisions and I can be
Okay.
completely paralyzed by small decisions.
Oh, like what to have for dinner.
Right. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
R-
know. I'd have
Right.
the same thing every night if it were up to me because I'm just a woman of habit, but yeah, like I could just be paralyzed with exactly the smallest thing of
Right.
but big decisions I make the best decisions I make, hmm, or maybe the worst, I feel
Oh,
are
that's
are like unconscious decision, like
hmm
without thought, kind of like knee-jerk decisions. Like, I mean,
right.
I I moved to Los Angeles without a thought. Like I
Ah,
I lived in a 5-floor walk up with a roommate in New York and I loved New York. And then I
right.
went to LA and went to a party. It was a party for Jon Stewart's MTV show.
Oh my
That's how
God.
long ago it was.
Wow.
And I met a cool girl in a beanie smoking a cigarette. And I was like,
Nice.
whoa. And she's like, oh, my roommate's moving out if you want her room. And I went, okay. And I went back to New York, packed my stuff. I had a boyfriend
Right.
at the time. I was like, yeah, I'm moving to LA. I didn't think at all about it. And
Wow.
but I don't know. Every time I've done stuff like that, it's worked out. But if I made a different decision, it would have worked out too.
Right.
I think that's the best way to think about it, even though it isn't always necessarily true at all. But I mean,
Right. Right.
you
So,
can't, like, you could be so, I always think of that song from Sunday in the Park with George. I don't know if you're a musical head at all,
I
but
kind of am, but I don't know that one very well.
it's called Move On, and Bernadette Peters sings it.
Hmm.
And just, she's talking to this artist, George Surratt,
Yeah.
and she's saying, just move on. It doesn't, the choice may be mistaken. The choosing is not. You have to move on. That's the
Right.
lyric, but it's just like, just sometimes if you're paralyzed, you just have to make a choice. It doesn't matter which one, either you have to just believe like your story's already written. And that's like a more of a religious, like, way to understand the not understandable,
Hmm.
or just know that it's just like, it's better than total fear paralysis. Like, just make a choice.
Right.
It doesn't matter. If you made the wrong choice, you'll make another choice. You'll be in a better position to realize another choice,
And you'll know more. You'll be armed with more information.
Yeah.
So like, why regret a thing that you did? You might as well. You're just going to learn from it and be a
Yeah.
more full person.
But I
who
mean, I trust my gut, but I have terrible instincts.
Oh, that's great.
Terrible instincts. I mean, so many things just career-wise. I mean, but I don't regret, but like John Hamm, who I've known forever,
Hmm.
I remember him calling me and being like, "I'm doing this pilot for AMC and you should audition for it." And I was like,
Right.
American movie classics. I'm good. I'm on a real channel. It's called Comedy Central. And Bridesmaids. I remember Bridesmaids coming to me, and I
Yeah.
just read the title, and I was like, "Bridesmaids, pass."
No, thank you.
It's like my favorite movie of all time. Whatever.
You can't, it can't. That's so funny because it's like in our family, the advice is if you don't know what to do nothing.
Right.
Like,
Right.
don't act on it. Just sit in it for longer. You just need like longer to just like don't. So
But
it's
that's a good point too, because sometimes you just need to like look inward or wait for, like, sometimes the answer just after a nap.
that
Right?
is very true. Like sleep on it or just like a
Sleep
a
on
moment.
it's so real.
It's so real. Not to get too personal, but I just had like, well, I'll do it. I just had like a small, like a little surgery a little while ago, like a couple of months ago. And before I went in, my doctor was like, "Hey, just before you go in, just like after any surgery, like 48 hours, don't make any big decisions. Don't move to a city across the country. Don't get a divorce. Don't sell everything. And don't gamble your kids' college savings, okay?" And I was like, "Get out of here, Dr. Rocky." Of course
Yes.
not. And like 24 hours after surgery, I was like, "I'm giving it all up. I'm moving to Paris. I'm selling everything." And I literally had to go, "Wait a minute. Dr. Rodke was right. I got to sleep longer."
I had a huge surgery in 2016, like an emergency surgery on my throat.
Okay.
And I was in the hospital for a week, and they couldn't put me out. So they basically gave me like all the heroin in the world, like, or whatever, morphine.
Right.
And they did not give me that warning, but they should have. And I went
Oh,
home, and a series of events took place online for me that ended with me going to Western Union and sending $400 to Cameroon. I was completely duped by some online, because I couldn't smoke pot, and so I tried to get like, and pot wasn't legal yet, and I tried to get like
right.
edibles or oil or something, and I completely fell for a sham that I would never fall for with my like right mind.
Oh my
I had
God.
to drive to Western Union, and I sent
Drive.
$400
You're
to
like, this is
someone.
important. I know I should be resting now, but I've got to get in the car and get to a place where I can wire some money to Africa.
Yeah,
That's great.
Africa for weed oil that's probably made in
Yeah.
Well, that probably doesn't exist, actually. Those are just pictures on their website.
It was probably made 2 doors down. It was just, yeah. Yeah. What is your favorite thing to give advice on? Do people call in and you're like, this one's for, I'm in it. I love this.
Well, anything that I can find a way to relate to anything, which is probably ego and the need to be the center of things. But anything where I can go, oh my God, I know this one, or I've
Right.
dealt with this, or I have something. But also the ones where I have to, like recently I go, this is above my pay grade. I don't know how to answer this. It would be
Right.
irresponsible for me to try to answer this. But also in those times, sometimes I do give advice, but I preface it
Right.
with, I am just a person, talking out of my
Right.
ass.
Don't
But,
listen too hard, but here's a different perspective.
yeah, here's a comedian who's gone to therapy a lot's perspective that you don't know at all,
Right.
really.
Like, don't sell your house and send all the money from your house to Cameroon.
Yeah. Without thinking about it, at least, without sleeping on it.
Talk to one extra person about that.
Yeah, maybe
And-
your UPS guy.
And have a nap. Definitely get 1 night of solid sleep before you do that. Want to listen to the rest of this episode? Head over to your favorite podcast player to hear the entire show. I highly recommend it.